in this pencil to paper activity, you're going to tease out the concept behind social cognitive theory. So the essence of the social cognitive theory is that there's something called reciprocal determinism. It's this interesting reciprocity that's driving behavior change or personal change or environmental change. So when behavior or personal factors or the environment changes, it's going to change other things too. Just like you know this, if there's a new trail or greenway or sidewalks that are built in your neighborhood, you're more likely to use it, of course. Just as same with habits or behaviors and personal factors. If there's something new that happens to you in your personhood, then like finding out you have these new character strengths, then you're going to feel a little bit more stronger about who you are, what you bring to the table. So in other words, there's a reciprocity, a mutual sort of give and take between these three factors: behavior, personal factors, the environment that you are in at that moment, that determine what behaviors continue to thrive and exist or are learned. So here are some key things to remember about the idea behind reciprocal determinism and the social cognitive theory, that an environment can become more conducive and can become more affirming for learning. If your environment is not conducive, you can change it. You can change your environment. Other things, you could offer yourself rewards to establish and build momentum and motivation to just get the muscle memory going, to continue a positive behavior for a while until you don't need that reward anymore. It's okay to use extrinsic motivation when you need it if you don't have the intrinsic motivation. But the hope is that eventually you're weaning yourself off of extrinsic rewards and you're building up intrinsic motivation within you. You can also remind yourself from personal factors. You can build up your own personal factors by reminding yourself of past success. It can help you build your own behavioral capability to remind yourself, hey, I actually have used these kind of muscles before. I've used these particular strengths before, and I've done it before. So that relationship between the personal factors and behavior can be strengthened, that bond there. We also need to remember that there are negative behaviors that you're already doing, including negative mindsets that you may, and negative beliefs that you have about yourself. If you view those as habits of the mind or habits of behaviors, rather than just adopting it and seeing it as an identity, that's allowing you to recognize that even your personal factors can change. If you identify yourself as someone who is not a runner, then you've limited yourself in your personal factors, and you've created your own confinement to say, oh, I'm not a runner. That's just not who I am. Okay, that's how you believe your personal factors shape up, and that's going to impact the behavior of you feeling ready or willing to run. That's just one example. So I'd like for you to take this pencil to paper activity by applying the social cognitive theory to your health habit. Describe how there's a reciprocity, there's a nice give and take that happens to all the factors when one factor, like personal or environmental or behavioral factors, change. So here's the example I'm going to give. Here I am talking about wanting to see myself as an athlete, then I'm going to make a change in my environment. So I know that the way I wrote this is a little wonky from what visual you saw in the slides previously. Sorry about that. But let's look at the section in blue. The first thing I did, of many things, but one of the things that I did was I changed my environment. I was finding that I was having a hard time working in, a workout, or if the day went haywire, I wasn't able to get, a particular strength workout in. So, with some help with my colleagues, I realized, wait a second, I can bring some weights into my office. And I'm not saying I'm going to be lifting a lot of heavy weights, but maybe I can do a light workout, a light strength workout in my office. Nobody said I couldn't, so I'm going to change my environment. And I brought weights into my office. Okay, hadn't done anything with that, but I changed my environment. And what that allowed me to do here in green is it allowed me to realize that my personal factors can change because my environment has changed. I can change my attitude towards someone who can do a light workout in the office. Yeah, I could be the kind of person who does a light workout in the office, just 10, 15 minutes. It's better than nothing. And by changing that type of identity that I have about myself, knowing now that I've changed my environment, that was so helpful. And by doing those two things, first changing my environment, then changing my personal factors of seeing myself as the kind of person who would work out lightly in my office, I can now say that I have behaved in a way that I am now working out, not on a regular basis, but when the time strikes and I need to, I can work out in my office, and it's not a horrific idea. And it's also now an idea that I can resort back to because I've changed my environment. So I hope that's been helpful to you to see how when one factor changes, in my case, the environment first, then my personal factors changed, and then my behavior changed. So why are we doing this? There is power when your pencil meets your paper. Taking notes, documenting your thoughts, and gathering your own insight through writing has been shown, it's been proven to help learners retain knowledge. So these pencil to paper activities are a way to give you the space to allow attitude, mindset, behavior change, ideas to flow in a safe environment. It also gives you time to just pause and step back and notice new things and reflect on them and learn slowly.